That's not our plane, but we left Birmingham Airport. The weather in the UK had suddenly changed to exactly the same as Poland, freezing. So in Krakow, just got into our little hotel. Very utilitarian, everything you need. Absolutely clean, kettle looked brand new. And I'm getting that kettle on for a cup of tea, but yeah, it's all right, isn't it? What more do you need? Ooh. Been snowing here today. It was thawed on the road. Oddly, it was snowing in Birmingham Airport first thing in the morning. It was way colder on the runway there than when we got off here. But we'll get a drink, go and get some food, and tomorrow we'll see what the city holds. View from the window. It is very grey this afternoon. It's exactly how I thought Poland would look, going back to the day. Think of it just as like, I don't know, sort of grey and industrial. I'm sure all that's changed. Jackie's graffiti in the snow. So before we get into this video, I'm going to tell you that the hotel Jackie booked is exceptionally good. It's a 3-star, but really nice and tidy. 5-minute walk into the old town, so it's just on the edge, perfect location. What you need to know, if you come here when we do, just in January, it's cold, you've got to have your layers, you've got to bring enough layers or you'll be cold, a woolly hat, so on. Thermal underlayers, definitely. But well worth it because it's quieter. It'll be very different in the summer. Worth coming this time of year?
Oh, I think so. Yeah, lovely.
It really is. It's a beautiful day. There's ice on the ground. It's a beautiful day. It's still busy. It's a Monday morning now, but it's so much quieter than what it's going to be in the peak holiday seasons, in the warmer spring months for sure. What else can you say? It's a walker's paradise, and if you don't like walking, you'll love it. Nothing's far away.
It's a bit harder if you've got little children, so I think you'd have to spend more money to entertain them, because
They could get bored.
It's a city break, and there are castles and horse and carriage rides and
the Owl Cave.
Yeah, the Owl Cave's a very good
little
place.
find.
But you're gonna have to spend a bit more money. I would say for I don't think I'd want to bring a baby here really.
No,
this time of year, actually.
No.
Yeah.
And as you can see on the video, we're not doing the main tourist things. Yes, Auchwitz, Jackie felt it's something where you've got to go. Again, don't take your kids there. They're going to be bored, and if they're of a certain age, they're going to be seriously probably traumatised. It's not a place for kids. Don't care what anyone says. It's just not. They're going to be bored, you little kids.
Even the two, like we had a private taxi man take us, didn't we? And he said he went there when he was 13 at school, and he was like, no.
Yeah, it's too young kind of thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're either going to mess about, or you're going to be bored messing about, or it's not for you. But the whole place, if you want to come away as adults, there's loads of the classic things to do. There's a gun range. People love the gun range. And what else? Salt mines, Auchwitz. We've been to the Botanic.
Thermal spas.
Yeah, like the things that the masses want to do. We've found other things, really. We're at the castle now. We're probably not going to go in. We've been to the underground museum, Rhinebeck Museum in the square. Fascinating and huge.
It's quite reasonable priced, isn't it? What did we pay to go in there? What did I just pay?
A couple of quid, I can't remember.
45 zloty. And it's...
Tenner. And 9 quid each. 9 quid each.
5 zloty to the pound at the minute, so...
Yeah, there's more to tell you about.
It's very interactive, so kids are like that. There's lots of kids doing the interactive stuff.
That was for families. Tell a bit more about Auschwitz and the idiosyncrasies there later in the video, but definitely, if you come into Poland, Krakow, amazing. Honestly, it's not expensive. Some really good food at really good prices.
The local food is... You're paying a bit more on the main square, but it's still not expensive.
No.
If you go for English stuff, like there's a
steak,
like a buffalo steak place,
grills, and
you can pay 100 quid for a bit of steak. You can spend what you like. But last night I had Polish dumplings.
I had the trout again.
You had trout,
another kind of trout, yeah. And if you want
my meal was
stew,
50 zloty.
Good, hearty, massive. It's like
massive meal, isn't it?
Big,
Too much,
filling,
really.
hot food. Piping hot food. Go for the more local cuisine for sure, I think.
Oh, I think it's
certainly
great.
This time of year. But enjoy the video. We'll talk through it as we
Don't
go
go for
along.
the local beer unless you want to get peed up, though.
It's strong. Like most towns, once you're outside the main square, into the outer town areas, graffiti everywhere. Wow, beautiful. Botanic Gardens, not far, 20-minute walk from the town, the old town, I guess. Warm greenhouses too. Absolutely lovely. Absolutely peaceful, there's hardly anyone here. Lovely bit of snowfall. Saturday, by the way. Just over there, main road. Bit of traffic. Botanical gardens, beautiful. So we've gone from 2 degrees minus 11 wind chill to a little nymph. I did a bit of that for my head. To, you know, mid-20s, high 20s, mid-20s. 25 C, I think. Oh, that was the airlock. Tropical in here. How wonderful. A rainforest in the snow. Beautiful. different tillandsia and different kinds of air plants. All different species. Look at that, really thriving. Beautiful. And of course, first week of January, probably as quiet as it can possibly be. Just us two and the staff. So if you're into a gecko or your dart frog bioactive enclosures, so come here with a bucket or a basket. Picking bits off would be astounding. So much stuff, so many species. Spring and summer, obviously a very different place. Worth coming to see the beautiful snow, the beautiful blue sky, and all these tropical houses. Wow. What a weird looking palm is that? If you love the planted aquarium, this pond is terrific. Beautiful.
on it as well.
Cool. Hoodie crow. Not going to see a lot in the pond. Chilly. So back outside now, back out the tropics. Obviously, on most of the stuff in the gardens, you've got the structure of the trees. Most of it's just little signs sticking out the ground, telling you what plants live underground, all fresh to come out in the spring. Wow. Beautiful place. Wow.
A few parts of doorway. They're getting well.
It's got its own little fogger and heating and lighting. Different sun dews. Another carnivorous plants in this one. Yeah.
This is from Alpine Garden.
Nice time.
Yeah, it's a bit windy here though, babe.
Goodbye, Lucy Lemon. It says one thing not to do here is feed the pigeons in the market. You can see why. Jesus. Smells like pigeons. Well, Jackie's already here. Oh, how bizarre.
Right, this way you can see the birds. Yep. So it's African spot eagle, lovely little bird. I'll pop him up here. So you want to come right one holding. And I'll do a bit of poop cleaning. Another thing about this venue being perfect for the birds is that it's really easy to clean. If this was carpet, I'd have a nightmare, but because it's tiles, really easy to wipe down. They're like sisters and we are all friends. It's a totally socialised owl from the very beginning, really friendly, loves people contact. Don't be surprised if at some point she jumps off and comes onto the table and starts hopping around.
Okay, Jackie's just haggled because she's a tight ass. 600 zloty down to 400 for a ride in a coach. But I reckon they're going to do a shorter trip now. They're not stupid, these people. Yeah, did you see him?
Take you very far, right?
No, well, the first one was 10 minutes, wasn't it? First stop check. I've got a double chin in this. My chin. That's Christmas.
Oh!
You enjoying it?
It's lovely, it's very relaxing.
What have you liked about this part of the world? Because I forgot, I'm so cold, I can't think where we are. Where are we?
I just like the
Krakow.
vibe, yeah, it's a nice vibe, it's a slower vibe than being at home, and even though you're in a city, you're still kind of feeling chilled and relaxed. It's got that oldie-woldy feeling that Toledo had of like culture and these.
Jackie's actually...
I'm
Jackie's allergic to horses. It's got the whole square and the main town's got that lovely clean,
lovely vibe, isn't it?
isn't it? Yeah, tidy, friendly, and everything else.
And also the kind of medieval look.
Yeah.
Got that, hasn't it?
Yeah, we've been to those botanical gardens, and no one's ventured past the old town out.
No, it's
like busy
a real
here.
busy hub of people
Yeah.
in the old town.
Like 5 people at the botanical gardens.
But it's a nice vibe, so you can't blame them. It's not like a hustle bustle. People aren't pushing you. It's like a more chilled vibe than if you say you're in London or something.
Yeah.
People are friendly, aren't they? Welcoming.
Yeah. And even though it's a town, compared to England, the prices are good, aren't they?
I think so,
You know.
yeah. Well, you can pay what you like. You can go somewhere and it just be cheap street food, which is really good quality, or you can go to a steakhouse and pay 100 quid for your steak dinner.
Yeah.
That's what you want it to be. You've got the
And to be
option,
honest,
so-
that's the stuff that's very much aimed at the English. The local kind of dishes
Yeah.
are very, very affordable indeed,
I
aren't
really
they?
want to try a Polish stew, but I haven't
Polish stew.
done that
Warm
yet.
yourself up. Yeah, it's very nice. And the architecture, let's just have a look, is absolutely everywhere you look in the old town. It really is. It really is interesting and beautiful. It's been snowing today. We've been walking in the snow. Very romantic, but well worth a visit indeed. Do haggle if you're cheeky like Jackie for the horse and cart. So,
Not cheeky, it's called being
so 600.
not paying a lot more for things if it's not worth it
No.
now then.
This journey was different size journeys, different lengths. Was 600 zloty. Jackie's paid 400, so a little bit over £100 to now a little bit under
That's a good
£100.
price for people. I mean, they have got their overheads and it's fair, isn't it? It's fair.
Yeah.
They've got
Well, at the
their
end of the day,
overheads, but 600 is just too much, so we'll have a bit of fair.
yeah, this time of day there was a whole queue of horse and carts with no work.
No one's doing
So
anything.
better to get 400 than 600, I
think
guess.
you could have got it cheaper, but I don't like to be too many.
But definitely think about haggling on the horse and carts. Lovely, peaceful way to see some of the old town. Jackie's top tip, coming in the winter, bring gloves.
Yeah, and a scarf. Bloody heck, can't do it without a hat.
It's
either.
cold, isn't it? So it's about 2 degrees today in the day. It's -2 first thing. And I think it is, the wind chill's -11, so it is a nippy old breeze if you're getting caught out. Or in shade, the temperature's so much different to in the sun, obviously, but you know, quite pronounced.
It looks like it, don't it?
So this town is so walkable in the old town, like so walkable, everything's nearby. You have to be very, you know, something wrong with you or very lazy not to walk around. But this is a wonderful way to have a little tour around, relax for half an hour and just relax and go by all the sights of the town really. It's beautiful, lovely market in there. Thought she was famous because everyone stopped to film her, and then she realised it was just the horses everyone loves. Arrived in, not Krakow, we've arrived in Auchwitz. We're on a self-guided tour, so we've used, who
We've gone with Get Your Guide.
Get Your Guide, which have brought us here. They give you a booklet. They've brought us, we just dropped off to look at, where people were brought in on the railroad. And then we're going to be taken in this vehicle or minibus to a couple of sites. But it's the end of the day self-guided tour where Auschwitz let you in without a tour guide, basically. And that, I think, from 2 o'clock onwards. So self-guided, you're brought here with a tour company. They'll take you between the sites, but you guide yourself around, booklet included, which is right up our street. It took an hour and a bit to get here. Some beautiful countryside, very, very nice actually. Some nice forests and fields, and right up my street. But it's much colder here, isn't it?
Oh, the wind chill. You can see the snow, like,
you can see the snow is thick here, thicker compared to Krakow, and the wind chill, I think it's meant to be -9 again or something today, but I've got an extra layer on today, and I've got to tell you, it's cold up here for sure.
You can't underdress for
so
this.
We'll report back. Where did you find that guided tour? What Facebook page?
I didn't find it on the Facebook page because
it's on the Facebook page, though, isn't it?
Because you're so fickle and you don't like guides, I just had to do so much research. And I couldn't really book it independently, and I'm quite good at stuff like that. But
yeah, this is the problem now. You struggle to. You can't just turn up at Auschwitz in a hire car or whatever and easily just get in.
So you couldn't like book public transport. The entry tickets are free.
It's free. It's actually free to go in, but you have to pay for a guide. You can go in later in the day without a guide, and it's still free. But you can't just turn up on the day and buy a ticket. You've still got to book them when they're available.
The ticket has to be ordered. They've got weird policies at this Auschwitz museum. Weird policies that even the tour companies struggle with. You can't come in without a passport ID. There's all security checks like an airport. It's quite rigid.
To stop some of the, I think it was ticket touting now, you've got to pre-book a ticket, even though it's free. But then when you come in with your ticket, you still have to have a passport or some decent form of ID to prove it's your ticket. And basically you haven't flogged it for a price, if that makes sense. So things to bear in mind. If you want to go to Auschwitz, don't think you're going to come and stay in Krakow for then. Oh, maybe tomorrow we'll go to Auschwitz and we'll buy a ticket on the door. Definitely doesn't work like that, for sure. This guided things cost us how much each in pounds?
Well, we've paid £65 for the two of us.
Is that all?
Yeah. Okay, so we don't get a tour, but we do get this tour guide, which obviously we'll keep that. And it just tells you everything. It's something I'm probably going to read afterwards.
To be honest, just the driving there and back is going to be 2.5 hours, all told.
Yeah, we got lucky because we were the only English people. We're in a private minibus.
Yeah, there wasn't enough room in the minibus, so we're basically in a car with one of the main guides of the tour, but not a tour guide around Auschwitz. So trying to not be confusing. It's 65 quid. It's well worth that, because at the end of the day, it's worth that to get a taxi ride, sort of an hour and a half each way, isn't it, in a way? So all good so far. We'll report back. I wouldn't come here if you're an empath like me. I think pretty sad place for anyone. Any normal person is going to feel harrowed and sad here, but not for me. Dreadful. can hear the mood. Very hushed tones. People reading the signs. Don't say anything nice, put it that way. Yeah, it's shocking.
Track and knowing that you're coming to the done.
Short shuttle bus as part of it to Krakow. Gotta be honest with you, I did a bit of work experience as a kid on a chicken farm. They're called free range because they lived in sheds, but they weren't in cages. It's just got that. Do you know what? It's like pig sheds or chicken sheds. Dozens and dozens of them. Dozens and dozens of them. A huge expanse. It is about -9 now, wind chill, -2 maybe the actual temperature. And you're here living in, I imagine, absolute squalor at this time of year. My kind of hell would be absolute freezing, not hot. And it just makes me shudder to think that he's actually wearing a thick pair of pyjamas probably. Do you know what I mean? I am so dressed up in thermal gear and my hands feel like they're going to fall off just holding the phone filming this. The cold sets the mood. If you do come in winter, seriously, you need to dress for cold because you're more standing around, the wind chill's intense and the temperatures I've just sort of quoted, probably not typical, they're mild. It could easily be minus 15, so don't think I'll wear some warm clothes, properly thermal layer up for sure. It was quite a long queue to get through the ticket office, and Jackie said, what would it be like if you were standing here in like sleety wet snow for 40 minutes with no shelter? I mean, that's horrific, and yet here we are where that would have been some kind of heaven. Chimneys, dozens and dozens more ex-buildings, if you like. Town, really. Small town, sheds full of people. And on, and on, and on. So back away from the ice and the snow, back to Krakow. It's time to get an evening meal to warm ourselves up, yes?
Somebody's ankles are exposed there, I can't cope with that.
Oh, not after the cold day we've had. Couldn't really get a picture of it in the vehicle on the way back, but the moon as it rose was massive. It looked great. I'd like to have stopped the minibus and just got a film, but yeah, very, very photogenic square. I've read it's the largest town square in Europe, but it really is a photogenic place. If you love your architecture and buildings, remember I'm a nature boy, but I can still appreciate a lot of the history and the beauty. And under here is a museum. We're walking over it now. Maybe we'll get time for that, maybe we won't, but isn't that a picture? Especially wildlife in the town, in this park around the town. We've got a tawny owl squawking just now, and great tits and jays and jackdaws and stuff. But so far, a lovely experience. Well, apart from the bulk of today, of course. Obligatory holiday food snap. So Jackie, we've had a night to digest. What did you think of Auchwitz? We went on a very mood-setting, cold and frosty day. What are your thoughts?
I'm still processing that actually, but overridingly, it was more a feeling than an emotion. I feel disgusted by humanity, that we're capable of doing that to each other. It was really sad and emotive being there. You felt the gravity of it. It was a real, same as when we went to Thailand where the tsunami hit. We happened to book our holiday there, and it was where the tsunami hit in 2004. It's got that quiet, flat feeling. You know, there's been a lot of death and sadness, but we both actually have foggy heads today and feel a bit rough.
Don't we?
And I think it's just to do mostly with processing all of that. You don't need to look at a lot because there's lots of sections, different huts with museum bits and bobs in there. But you only need to look at one artefact, and it's so hard hitting. So we looked at lots of ID badges and passport photos of people that have been murdered from different backgrounds. They're all someone's son, husband, dad, granddad, wife, daughter, mother. They're all important people in people's lives that someone's just gone, oh, do you know what, you don't look very well, we're going to wipe you out. And you're thinking this about looking at all these faces, and you're like, if you're an emotionally connected person, emotionally intelligent, you can't process it, you can't comprehend the madness of it, and it's madness. But one artefact that really got me, because it was so bitingly, bracingly cold there, I think it was -2, the guide chap said.
The wind chill was -10 probably, weren't it?
So like, for me personally, I had a bra, a vest, a long sleeved polo top on, another long sleeve top. I had a thick super dry ski coat, and I mean it was thick, and had a long sleeping bag coat that we wear a lot in the UK, a massive scarf, gloves and a hat, and long socks under jeans, and another short pair of socks, and I can
full
tell
tummy.
You, yeah, well, there's a little twist to that, but we huddled in a corner before we'd had anything to eat, like hot to eat or hot to drink. We huddled in a sheltered corner, and you almost feel sick and unwell because you're so cold. And the people that turned up there were they'd been ripped from their homes in an aggressive, violent manner. They'd already undergone lots of trauma. They were already starving, probably didn't carry a lot of fat back in those days, I'd wager. And the artefact that really got me was the pyjamas, the stripy pyjamas, which were just like a uniform that the prisoners wore. There was two in I've got a photo actually, there's two that were just on a hanger in a glass enclosure, and one looked really harsh but thicker than the other, and I just thought,
thick cotton shirt and trousers, really, weren't it?
That's what it was. And one of them was thick and one of them wasn't, and I just thought, like, if somebody died wearing the thick one and you had the thin one, you would literally undress that dead person and put that jacket on yourself.
Yeah.
And I just thought, imagine walking barefoot or in boots that were ill-fitting, and in these pyjamas and with no food. So we went from we'd had our breakfast, so we were fed, there's no excuse for it, but We went from huddling in this corner, dressed to the max, and we went off to have a look while we were waiting for our time slot to enter the museum. You've got to be prepared to wait for that. We went into the restaurant, we were like, oh God, hot food, let's have a hot coffee. And you can't underestimate how uplifting it is to have something hot to eat and drink. And I felt kind of a little bit guilty that we were in the times where we could go in and experience that. Imagine being that cold. Just makes you feel so unwell, and not knowing when your next meal was coming, or if somebody else who was a bully in the group that you were in was going to steal your food, your clothing. You got so many components going on, but it definitely added something to the experience being there in the cold.
I think so. I think if you went on a nice spring day, you wouldn't think about what it would be like. You'd be thinking of all the horror, but being bitterly cold, it makes you realise the true horror, doesn't it?
Yeah, I just think it just made me think that we haven't evolved at all, which is a really basic comment that anybody would make, but we are sheeple, we are. And we were sort of digesting it a bit this morning, just saying, what if you're just a normal person that's kind and compassionate and hardworking, and your job is to be a soldier? I think that was your comment, wasn't it? And I said to you, but even people that are kind and compassionate, I would definitely get a bit of this if I'm somewhere where there's lots of people that will push in. And we had it in the queue, and it was really making me annoyed trying to get into the museum. People will push and shove and take from you if it means they get ahead, on whatever level. So you definitely have that in that environment from people that would, if you took them away from that environment, wouldn't be that way at all.
Yeah, all the people involved in the whole of the war, the whole of Auchwitz, the whole thing, those personality traits are still with us in the whole of society now, aren't they? It's just, you've got to try not to allow it to get that to happen again. But society hasn't changed, has it? It's definitely something that technically could easily be repeated. There's no...
Oh, I think you like to say, well, I wouldn't
are still
do
among
that.
us, aren't they? Those people are still among us.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that, and that's awful, and da-da-da. But put yourself in that situation. If it's the difference between your child perishing or you taking a jacket off of a dead person,
we're shooting them,
or doing what you have to do for your child or your wife or the only loved one that you've got left alive, you're going to do it, aren't you? However kind or compassionate. And I think that weighs heavy. That survival instinct weighs heavy. You really do feel that when you're there, that what lengths would I go to in this environment? When you see like when we went to, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, Birkenau, we went there, you know, like the I'm sure you'll put a picture up, but the big like a mouthway of hell going in with the tram tracks. You just think, imagine arriving there and you're like cattle on there. There already be dead people, people dying, people that are diseased, and it is to quarantine you, and you're separated from all your loved ones. You've got nothing but a set of bloody pyjamas on you that are probably ill-fitting. You're freezing. You don't know whether you're going to be selected. The women and children were taken first, weren't they? And there was often violent acts and sexual crimes against them.
What was the birth rate in there? 700 babies and 60 survived.
700 babies were born in Auschwitz, and they were often, especially if they were Jewish babies, they were delivered and drowned in a pail of water. Only 60 live babies that were born during that time were left the camp on liberation. It's facts like that, isn't it? You just think, what the hell?
Yeah, you don't need a guide. There's plenty to read. If you don't want a guide, you don't need a guide. There's plenty to read. But the whole feeling, you don't even need to read a word, do you? It's just desolate, isn't it? The whole, you feel the
vibe of it. It's the energy. There's an energy there that you can't, no one can deny.
You've only got to walk through, haven't you, to get that feeling without even reading a word or hearing a word about it.
You could be a really insensitive person and think, and you could not ignore that feeling. I think I really felt the weight of that in the gas chamber. I felt very intrusive going in there.
Yeah.
I mean, it says no photography, no talking, be respectful to the people that died here. Completely agree with that. But just walking in there felt disrespectful.
Yeah, you feel like I want being a tourist here to look at your. Do you know what I mean? You're
it
almost
was something
like,
else for me.
Yeah,
it was
it's hard to put into words, isn't it?
you know, you just think, Jesus Christ.
My ending thoughts on this would be, as I've said to you, imagine if you're quite a compassionate guy and you've been roped into the German army, you've been posted in somewhere like that as a soldier on the gun towers or something, and you have to, even if you're compassionate, you have to treat those people like animals for literally your own life and your family's life. You couldn't be seen to be anything other than the rest of the mob, because the way that regime was, your family would probably be put off to a concentration camp if you helped these people, or, you know, these animals that they were sort of being treated as. You couldn't show compassion. How would that affect you?
There's no escape for anybody mentally, physically, emotionally.
Anyone there apart from the monsters.
Because the concentration camps where they quarantined you were about breaking you right from the onset. And if people tried to escape, they hung them by the door, like as the entrance in, and were there as an advert, you tried to escape, this is what will happen to you. And then they went and found your family and murdered them.
Well,
and that
they
was
made
the
them
same
stand
for
in the cold,
guards.
didn't they? Said they made them stand in the cold, so the new arrivals saw people freezing to death with a sign that said, "This is the family of people that escaped." So it's like psychologically destroying the minute you walk in. Anyway, let's find something more pleasant to do today. Yeah. So we're under the main square, and this is what was there. This isn't a museum of stuff put under there. This was there. Everything's just built on top, layer after layer, as it is in most of the world, I guess.
At the very beginning, I mentioned that 10 years ago, they announced
This museum is vast, lots of interactive English and Polish and other languages, loads of just so much to see, way more than we thought, loads of sort of interactive stations like this. Real eye-opener to the place, fascinating.
Wielkiej popularności tej książki nie świadczy fakt,
There's the river. So we're up at the castle now. Just Just on the edge of the main old town, I guess. A few minutes walk from the centre. Again, if you like buildings and architecture, it's so photogenic. As you've noticed, flooded this video, but just a snippet of it really. Look at that. Good idea to try and keep the frost and the snow off your perennials. Jack is now shopping. Plenty of shops if that's your thing. So Jackie, tell me about that huge Polish sausage I just saw you eating.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Was it indeed? It looked a bit oniony to me.
Lovely.
It was
very
actually.
filling, but too much for one person.
It was like the ultimate hot dog, wasn't it?
Basically equated to £5, didn't it?
£5. It was about, well, it was more than a foot long, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And a good
Gosh.
girth on it too. Oh no. So we gotta get some food for our last evening. Just come from the hotel. Plenty of supermarkets and this, that and the other, and then just down where that tram is, you're just heading across the road down into the old town, a 5-minute walk away. All the shops. So it's our last evening. If you like art, history, fun things, I guess, like the salt mines, the hot spring baths, shooting guns at the gun range. That's for you. If you like something quiet and beautiful like me in the outdoors, you've got the beautiful Botanic Gardens, just a few minute, 10-minute walk out the main square. Obviously you've got Auchwitz, about an hour's and a bit sort of journey away. Food, bars, every kind of thing to suit every kind of taste. Some really cool underground bars if you know where to look and can find them. Sort of more local, I guess. They were fun. Toilets, quite a lot of public toilets around once you find them. Sometimes they're 1, 2, 3, or even the most expensive 5 zloty, and 5 zloty is £1, so some are like 20p to use. Fair enough, I guess. The bars and places, they're not charging you. It's kind of like they want you to buy something. I did run into a corner McDonald's to have a wee, bursting as I come out of the bar. Couldn't access the toilets without a receipt, so I had to buy you know, a bottle of fizzy pop, whatever, a drink, to get a receipt, to get the number to access the loos, which was a bit frustrating when you're bursting for a wee. But there's plenty of that sort of toilets around. Once you familiarise yourself, if like me, you've got a bladder the size of a grape in the cold. But yeah, something for everyone. If you do like beautiful architecture and historic buildings, the old town has got the 100% total wow factor. You've got the museums, definitely worth a visit, and it's not an expensive sort of mini break place at all. So one thing is, the city's really done to make it great for tourism, so it's so clean and tidy in the old town. There's no diesel cars allowed in from January 2026. Really strict now on vehicles, so there's delivery bikes are not, they're bikes, guys on electric bikes, not on scooters whizzing around. There's not a lot of looky men. Each corner there's probably a few guys, not handing out leaflets, but with boards sort of trying to sell you, you know, tours, walking or riding tours, guided tours of the town and that kind of thing. But all polite, put your hand up, no thanks, kind of. Not had any more heckling other than that. It's not full of people trying to get in your face and rip you off and sell you stuff. Just a few reasonably good-natured ones, I guess. But yeah, not a lot more I can tell you. Just beautiful, endless bars and restaurants, good food, art galleries, museums, things to do, places to go. Just beautiful to see. And of course, if you do come in the winter like us, as we've said, bring layers. You don't have to wear them. But it was so cold when we went to Auschwitz. I wouldn't have wanted to have less layers on, and my God, was I layered up. It was bitingly cold. And we've had it all here. It's all nearly all melted now. We've had snow here. We've had ice here. I don't know. I think if it was constantly cold rain, that would, excuse the pun, put a real dampener on it. But the snow and just the cold, I'd recommend coming in the winter, to be honest. I'd probably prefer it now to be walking around these streets than if it was 30 degrees C. But everyone turn around. But yeah, don't be put off by coming in the winter. So Jack is still shopping. Is it safe? Very. I imagine when it's absolutely packed in the height of season, you want your hand on your wallet like any city in the world, but I think it's one of the safest places in Europe. Super safe. Jackie is shopping, and what I think was a very nice high-class hooker just tried to pick me up, which was a bit embarrassing. So Jackie needs to hurry up before I get, you know, eaten by the wolves. But I think that was a very random thing. Very random indeed. There's no feel of that kind of thing here, if you know what I mean. I'm sure if you're the young lads, there's plenty of strip joints or such like not far away. Luckily, yeah, I'm sorted on all that account. No, just lovely. Very friendly vibe. Anyway, let's go and see if she spent all the last of her money.